second set of the second match of the day will be played on Naro's station. Spawning in the top right-hand position, the red Protoss from STX Seoul. His name is Trap.
His opponent spawning as a blue Protoss on the left bottom position, stating that Pocari Sweat is the best drink out there. Playing for KT Roaster, his name is Zest.
Pocari Sweat, of course, is a pretty popular drink here in Korea.
It's like an energy/ion drink and also sponsor of SK Telecom T1 and KT Roaster.
That's true. They sponsor both of the teams, and it's originally from Japan, right?
Mm-hmm. And also a huge meme along with Flash.
Oh, that's true. He always downs his Pocari Sweat after games.
Before, during, and after.
Pretty much, man. He's the Pocari man.
He's the Pocari Terran. Now, when it comes to Starcraft 1, these two guys, Trap does lead against Zest 2-1, and Zest does lead against Trap 1-0 in Starcraft 2. Also, we didn't have that much explanation about the badge that he had. He's the MVP for round number 4, and also he got that little award in the beginning for getting 100 wins in Pro League.
Yeah, that's why we were focusing on stats there on the camera for a second. So congratulations to him. He's a very solid player, certainly deserving of that, and he did well. He made it happen. So nothing so far yet to really report from this game here. We're not seeing any crazy early gases or things like that, just standard play at this point.
So the map is Naro Station, and it did change a little from round number 4. For example, the map is a little bit bigger, there's a little bit more airspace around the main base. If you look at the middle of the map, there used to be a lower ground with the line of sight blockers, but we don't have that anymore. That area is completely high ground. The expansions in the middle of the map are better fortified, I have to say, against the Tempest play.
That's true.
Now, the question of the day is, the first Pro League ever was KTF Ever Cup Pro League 2003. Who was the last player who got a victory in the finals, eventually giving his team the victory for 2003 season?
So basically, who won the deciding game in the KTF Ever Cup?
I did see an answer on Twitter from one of my friends, and I do believe that is the correct answer, but I still have to double check.
Well, we'll find out at the end of the match anyway. So, looks like we have a scouting probe here from Trap. Just going to see what his opponent's up to. Going to poke in here. He sees the second gateway. Sees the mothership core on the way as well. So, all is revealed right now, but he doesn't know about what his opponent Zest plans to do beyond this. He doesn't know. Is he going to go into the Stargate follow-up? Is he going to go Twilight Council? He doesn't know yet.
And Zest is pretty much saying, I don't care what you do, I'm just going to play safe as possible, scout around with the mothership core, and yeah, I'm not going to scout with my probe at all.
Yeah. The thing is, in PvP, if you play safe, you don't really get behind your opponent. It's very minuscule, almost, and by the mid-game, it evens out anyway when you guys take, when both players take an expansion. So really, I'm actually a little bit surprised more players don't go for the safer solid play. Ooh, missing that probe there. Almost gets it, but the second Stalker, Mothership Core will manage to scout it here. So with some good micro, almost getting that probe. The Stalker should take that out though.
Uh-oh, Zest, Trap actually got the first shot on the Stalker, so Zest has to run away. However, Zest, he can actually get the Mothership Core inside his opponent's main base. Both players going for the Twilight Council. Let's see who goes for the Blink and who goes for the DTs.
Look at this nice snipe on that probe. It's going to go down. There's nothing the Trap can do about that, unfortunately. Mothership Core for both sides moving into the main bases. We should see this Mothership get a few hits and potentially even kill off one of the probes here. Nice micro, though, from Zest. He's really, forcing this Mothership Core to kind of run away at it, and it's actually going to get no kills there. Warp recalls out, though. At the same time, we have a Dark Shrine go down from Trap here.
Yeah, actually, Zest also got a full scouting inside his opponent's main base. What actually is he?
He's going Robo.
He got it before and then he recalled out, but after seeing the Twilight Council, he's saying, well, you could change the build as soon as I recall out, so I'm gonna be safe as possible. It's better for me to get the Robo because I could get the Immortals out for a better DPS, and I could get the Observer out for possible DT switch.
So basically, we're seeing something similar to Zhangbi and Bisu from early on in the day. Bisu wanted to commit to aggressive Blink Stalker attacks while getting the Robo. This time around, I think we're just going to see our KT player Zest play more defensive and go for the expansion when he can afford it. You know, following up, getting that Observer out, getting some Immortals, so you can just be perfectly safe.
Yeah, Zest is playing really safe right now, getting all those tech, and he's delaying the expansion, but it's going to work out for him because now Trap, he's going to make some DTs, try to sneak some inside the main base, but as soon as Zest sees it, he could Chrono Boost out of Observer right away.
Yep, that's true. You just got to go ahead and get that Observer. The DTs won't do any crippling damage to Zest right now. Looks like he plans on potentially taking an expansion pretty soon here.
Well, he is building a second Immortal.
Getting the second Immortal. Interesting here. No DTs. Okay, there's the DT. Will Zest scout it in time?
No, it's out of the range, and he sees it at the natural. I don't think he saw it because he didn't cancel the... Well, I think he saw it at the last second because he pulled the probe away from the mineral.
I'm pretty sure he's spotted it by this point. That DT in a really sneaky spot, though. May be able to get some probe kills later on in the game if he keeps it there for that long. We have Stalkers moving across the map and an expansion behind this from Trap. So I like this decision here. He's going to try to apply some pressure, get up that expansion. He kind of has to delay now because he needs to get that robotics tech out, which he does not have compared to his opponent. No Robobait in sight quite yet. DT moving in here now, but the problem is the Observer out and the DT falls, doing absolutely no damage.
And behind this, he's following up with the Robo, but like you said, Zest, he already has the Colossus tech on the way, and he's going to have more Colossus than his opponent. But like we always say when it comes to PvP, if you give your opponent too much time to come back into the game, then the earlier advantage, it just evens out.
It does. By the way, nice sniping on those Stalkers from Deer there. Or, sorry, Trap. He was doing a good job at kind of just, just trying to hit a few units here and there, force his opponent out, and then using his superior Stalker count to keep his opponent's Stalker level pretty low here. The Immortals are out in the front, so the Stalkers won't be able to do too much damage here, but they're going to be pretty annoying.
Yeah, trying to see if they can get free shots on those Immortals as much as possible, but it's not going to really happen. All he can do right now is scare his opponent, keep him inside the main base while securing his own Natural, securing his own Robo while taking into Colossus.
Nice. I like how he sends the probes, the additional probes out to his Natural. Keeps 16 at his main, though. That's a good optimal number to get on each base before you continue to add more probes on.
Just 2 per patch.
Yep, exactly.
And 3 per Geyser.
Yeah, you can get up to 24 eventually, but you want to get 16 and 16 first before you try to oversaturate one side or the other.
So with the power of Colossus, Zest is slowly pushing out on the map. Remember, he does have better firepower, but he doesn't have that many Stalkers to go for the forward blink.
That's true. Actually, something else to note, we have Trap ahead in the worker count. He's actually staying up ahead in there in the economic game. Doing a good job pressuring, I have to say. He is behind, though, in that Colossus tech, which is really going to hurt him in the mid stages of the game.
Well, it's just going to even out at a certain point in the game, and Zest, Trap is now adding additional Stargates. No second Robo out for him just yet, but he does know that his opponent already has a Colossus out.
Yeah, he knows about the Colossus. This Phoenix, Hallucinated Phoenix, is going to do a little bit of scouting over here. Gonna see everything his opponent's up to. Actually not. Nice blink from Trap there, being able to take out that Hallucinated Phoenix before it sees too much important information in his opponent's base.
So now we're in a situation where Zest has a little better army, I have to say, because of more Colossus, but he has less gateway than his opponent. So it's more likely going to be a second Robo coming out by Zest, and as soon as I say that, he puts down a second Robo. The Forge is already finished, and +1 is out on the way. So Zest, even though he doesn't have even though he doesn't have that many gateways compared to his opponent, he has the high-tech units, which is what matters when it comes to PvP mid to late game.
It's true. Also, he has a few units in his main base, just in case his opponent tries to go for some type of crazy drop play, immortal play.
Or Zhongbi play.
Or Zhongbi play. He's completely ready for that. I think the Zealots are not going to run by this army from Zest, though. Alright, Forge finishing up for Trap. He's going to go ahead and get that +1 attack. About halfway behind his opponent Zest's at this point, but not the biggest deal in the world, unless we see a timing attack from our KT player here. And the Stalkers just, continuing to move around the map, trying to be annoying.
timing attacks aren't as favorable these days because, you know, if you try to attack into your opponent's base, you're going to have a similar number of Colossus, and the Nexus Cannon just buffs everything. So it's better to draw out the fight in the middle of the map, and that's the reason why we see, you know, a lot of even out games between these Protoss players.
Oh, I like this play from our STX player here, putting a DT at the third base, and he's going to go ahead and get a third base of his own here. Just going to try to be annoying and delay that. There's no observer over here.
But the DT wasn't on hold.
Wasn't on hold, so it will be spotted, and the probe not getting sniped off here. You see that third Nexus go down, and actually very nice from him. Using that DT, really delaying that third base by a lot here. Where is the observer from Zest?
Is it just... Okay, that was actually out of position, but since the observer's noticing that, do you see all the units right there? All the Protoss army, Sentry, Stalker, and Zealot?
Yeah.
That's really cool on this map.
This map has like so many little like hidden like features on it. Like you could probably actually look at this map for like 30 minutes and poke out all the cool things on it.
I'm sorry.
There's even like an animated little like Zealot just like chilling in like, the middle of the map somewhere. He's like a neutral unit. You can't like click him or anything, but he's just there chilling.
I mean, I'm sorry that I went off topic for a second, but that was just really nice touch to the map, I have to say.
Missed it.
Well, we also missed a unit trying to go inside the main base.
Got taken out by that Nexus Cannon and a interestingly placed cannon at the natural Zest there. But I guess he's making it work. If we look at the big picture right now, this has actually been a very passive game beyond the initial Blink Stalker harassment here. Nothing really accomplished on either side. They're just sitting back, macroing up. Protoss is a race that you have to be more defensive with. That's just the nature of the race. And once they get that high-tech army composition in high supply, that's when they become very dangerous, and that's where Protoss excel. So naturally, Protoss players are going to try to go more towards that style.
Definitely, and behind this, both players are finally getting up to 7/8 Colossus, so now they are going to replenish the army with Immortals only at this point. Getting a lot of Colossus is great, but over-making them is not a great decision as a Protoss player in PvP.
All right, so Zest moving across the map with a lot of his army right here. Is he going to commit?
He saw the number of Colossus, realizes that he has more than his opponent.
I guess so. Also, Zest is keeping a few units at home here, which is uncharacteristic in PvP.
That's actually for the Blink Stalkers that was around the map. He wants the Immortal to snipe the Stalkers right away before he loses a couple of probes, just like this.
The Stalker's doing a little bit of damage here, but they're going to get sniped off quite easily there. Only one survives. That was a one-way trip through 3 Stalkers there. Colossus count is really the important thing right now. The Colossus, the Immortals, adding in the Archons, that's going to happen very soon here. If we look at the supplies right now, Trap has managed to get pretty far ahead of his opponent now. 171. Oh, never mind. It evened out again. It's very close, though, for the STX player was ahead for a while.
And also, do remember that 7 of the, not 7, but 14 of the supply from Trap is tied into Stalkers at this point.
Yeah, that's also something really important to note. The Stalker's not useful later on. That charge is done, being revealed. +3 on the way for Zest right now. The +2 attack is finishing up very soon here for Trap as well. It's just going to be a dancing game looking for the best position over their opponents while slowly feeding away units and getting more Archons into the mix here, in addition to those Immortals.
A solid harassment going towards the third base, but it seems like Zest, he doesn't want to wait. He wants some blood.
He's going for it, man. He needs to get that Archon. He needs to get the 2 Immortals and the Archon in this army. That's okay. He's moving them over now. Actually,
except the Archon. He doesn't realize it's the Archon is over there.
That could actually make a big difference here. But these units out of position. Zest, he's going to go for it. He has the Warp Prism here. He's going to try to drop a few charge lots on those Colossus there, and then reinforce right on top there. That could do a lot of damage here. We have reinforcements from both sides. Supplies are still very even between both players right now. The Immortals clumped up in the middle, but there's no Immortals left for Trap here, and it looks like he is now not in a great position. The Warp Prism warping in units on top of the Colossus, doing their damage here. Supplies still pretty close right now, but now Zest taking a pretty large supply here, 122 to 83. It looks like he has managed to win this game with the superior positioning, using that Warp Prism, warping in units onto the Colossi.
And his opponent, Trap, didn't have any Archons when it came to the main battle. GG! He didn't have the Archons, he had less Immortals than his opponent. He made up to 9 Colossus, which is not ideal when it comes to Colossus versus Colossus wars.
Indeed, so Zest just showing he knows how to win PvP, man. There's a reason why his win rate is so high. He doesn't take unnecessary risks early on in the game, and he attacks when he thinks he can win. He has the Warp Prism, he has the positioning, he always can get the win in PvP.
So with 2 supporting Protosses from STX being taken out, who are they going to send out next?
Well, I guess it may be time for the Terrans to shine. We have Last that can be sent out. Maybe we'll see Hiva. I have a feeling they're saving Innovation for last.
Well, the last 4 maps are Core Hall, Belshir, Walwyn, and Planet S. Perfect for Innovation, so I think it's going to be one of the supporting casters once again. Supporting players, excuse me.
There's no caster. Well, there are casters in StarCraft.
Yeah.
Never mind. I was thinking of it from an RPG perspective. Like, you have your warriors.
Yeah, those casters. That's what I was thinking too for a second. Well, STX, they are down 0-2, and to prevent the 3rd kill from their opponent, KT Roaster, who are they going to send out?
They could actually send out another Protoss potentially here. They have Shintoss 2.0, I guess, classic, but we may not see him today. Innovation, will he get sent out? It might be
Hiba.
Hiba getting sent out here. The Zerg player from STX Seoul. He's able to do good in the individual leagues, but when it comes to the Pro League, he has lots of weaknesses that are often abused. And Zest is no pushover here. This is going to be a difficult game for Hiba to win.
Yeah, well, this is, of course, his best matchup out of the 3. He is 5-4 against Protoss.
It's true. All right, guys, we have to go into a commercial break. When we get back, Hiba versus Zest. Don't go anywhere. This is the SK Planet Pro League.